Welcome to Edithville, our turn-of-the-century miners' cottage in Bendigo, Victoria. Join myself, Dan, and my partner Branden as we transform our little house into a home. Renovating, decorating, gardening, and creating. Building our life in rural Australia. Not to forget our miniature poodle, Sprocket. Come along with us as we document the changes and experience the journey in our beautiful home, Edithville. We're back on our morning walks. Here's Sprocket. And mandatory mask wearing, so I've made myself a mask, and I'm making some masks as well for people, and I'm making ones for people with beards as well. They're triple layer, blah blah blah. But this is why I love living where we live in Bendigo and in Victoria, because you actually get a change of season, you know. And very rarely in Queensland did you get fog, I suppose, to this extent, but we have this lovely morning. And as you can hear the magpies. But it's just so pretty here. Look at that. You know, there's a different type of mood. I've always been kind of fascinated with fog, and I love the atmosphere that it gives, and it's, you know, really quite prevalent in Chinese paintings as well, and I'm really I'm in love with the you know, Chinese representation of landscape. If you've seen any of my artwork, you will see that in my artwork. So yeah, it's such a beautiful day this morning. Like, it's going to be a warmer day today, although it is expected to rain. And God knows when the fog will actually lift, but I don't mind. It's garden bed time here at Edithville. We're making some garden beds out of these planks of wood that we got. So it'll look somewhat like that, but we'll probably just do a single level and maybe do 2 lots of garden beds. We're tidying up the house. We're going to be putting in some water features, and we're going to be putting in some of the new garden beds. It's a nice warm day. It's beautiful. So we'll be busy, and we'll show you everything that we're doing as we're doing it slowly. Managed to get 2 pieces which are very similar to each other in length. These are all kind of, well, not uniform. So some are 2.5, some are 2.6. The 2.6 that we've got, we're going to cut in half, and they're going to become the ends because they're very similar in length at the moment. So we'll cut those ones in half, and they'll become the shorter ends that hopefully some of the matching longer ones will join up with. And we'll screw those all together and create our garden beds, and then put some cardboard down the bottom to stop the grass from growing. And then we're getting some more dirt on Monday to come in, ready for planting some things and get ready for spring. Sprocket's having a good day. Hey, Sprox. Hello, baby. And Branden's doing some work for our deck. Removing nails, getting ready for the redecking.
Yeah.
Or getting rid of the screws. Oh yeah, because they won't come out properly.
No. So I'm just reusing them to cover that hole at the moment, but all of this will eventually get ripped up and replaced with brand new. But there's no point in wasting money on new material now.
No. Especially when we have other projects that we want to do. But what will eventually happen is this needs to be re-sprung from underneath. It'll just be done with foam and stuff like that. And that will go across there where the barbecue is at the moment. And the barbecue will move, and we'll put some plants up and some shelves, and we'll have some other plants coming in to grow up, so more edible kind of things.
Show them the seeds.
Oh yeah, we've got seeds. So these are the seeds that we got. So we ordered these through the little veggie patch. And these two here we already had, so they're going to be sewn up as well. But so we've got some peas which we're going to grow up the trellis that we've put in, and some sunflowers and varieties of tomatoes, because we really wanted some heirloom tomato. So yeah, we've got our heirloom tomatoes. We've got some more basil, which we're coming into warmer months, so that should be good. And I've already done a little kind of greenhouse out of some old bits and pieces that we're waiting for that to start to grow. That'll probably take 6 to 8 weeks, but we're going to start these as well, because I've got another one ready to go. And so then we can start growing some heirloom, so vintage heirloom pea seeds, vintage heirloom tomato seeds. They're all heirloom seeds, so we shall have a whole veggie garden going on. It'll be great. So we have the garden bed in position and constructed. Put it together, got a little piece of recycled wood there, and then it drops off down here, so I've used some bricks and some bricks on the inside. Essentially we'll put some cardboard down, then the dirt over the top of that, and then I'll dig around an edge here, which is the same as I've done with these ones, to match. And over there we're going to make a path eventually and get rid of most of the grass, but we'll probably end up keeping this strip of grass for Sprocket to run up and down. So he's got some grass left for him. What's going on?
I'm just setting up the trellis work for the sweeties.
Woo, yeah.
So that they can come out of there and then
Yeah, lovely.
go up, but then we still get breeze.
Yep. Yeah, perfect. Ideal.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Good work.
I'm going to put in a pond. So there's the pond. And a few bits and pieces. And I'm going to start digging a hole and do a few bits, and you'll see what it looks like in the end. So when I was growing up, my family always had waterfalls. And I remember growing up and there being one where my family's home was. My grandfather built that. And then realized after that my uncles had also built waterfalls. And then when I was growing up, we actually had a little property that had a waterfall. And so I've always kind of really enjoyed the idea of having water running around the house. And being in regional Victoria, it's kind of dry out here unless you live by a river. And even in the summer, that can kind of dry up. So we wanted to have a little bit of water running. So anyway, We've been toying with this idea for a while, and friends gave us the pond that I showed you earlier, and also we went online and got the pond pump for $20. And we already had electric under the house, so we thought actually it'd be really good to have that there too. And so right now I'm setting up the fall using a few bits and pieces now. Right now I'm digging in a plant pot, but what that's going to do is that's going to give the height that we need, and then I'm going to surround that with black plastic and then rocks and things, so you won't really see that. And the same thing with some of the falls and that bit. We'll just be using those as kind of receptacles to hold the liner, and then we'll backfill behind that in this area with rocks and stones, and then plant it out for the summer. So anyways, that's a bit of a better explanation for you. I've now set up my fall, but all of this is going to sit underneath the waterfall itself, so you're not going to see it. So I've used things like plastic and some old bricks and whatnot, but basically what that is doing is it's giving the cascade underneath the plastic to give the fall that it's required. So okay, so this is the plastic that I'm going to use, and basically it is for garden beds. Dan's been working on the garden bed over there, and we'll use it to block weeds, but it is still a very good use for a pond. And because we already have catchment that will hold water, it's really just to direct the flow, and so it doesn't disappear into the ground if it splashes out. So it's really there to just help the water stay in and mean that we don't have to actually refill the pond very often. It should just, if anything splashes out, it should just come back in on itself. So I've filled up the top one, and I've added a rock just to kind of secure a little bit of this. But you can already start to hear what it'll sound like as it starts cascading into the pool. But we'll go ahead and we're going to add some more rocks, and we'll add some, as we do that, it'll add more sound. Okay, so we've come a little bit further, and here we go. So put some rocks in, a little tree in the background. Dan's up and washing rocks. Ta-da! Ta-da!
Official rock washer.
And yeah, there we go.